So tell me, how did Swansea Girls come about?
Right, well, this is a nice little story, I think. I did a gig at the relaunch of the Dragon Hotel. They relaunched with a gig on St. David's Day in 2006. And they invited me to come along. I was part of the entertainment for that night. Kevin Johns was going to appear. Mena Trussler was going to be speaking some lines from Under Milkwood. A celebrity audience was then including Joanna Page from Gavin and Stacey, people of this ilk. So it was a really nice evening. I sang there that night, and I was chatting to Mena Trussler afterwards, and Mena said, "Why have we never worked together? Explain this to me. Why do we never work together?" And I said, "Well, I think it's because you're an actress, I'm a singer." Yes, she said, "Well, there are still things we could do together. Have a think about it." So that sort of sowed a seed with me. I thought, what could Mena and I do? And I thought, well, it would have to be a musical. So maybe if I wrote something, perhaps. A couple of months went past, and then I did a charity gig for T. Alwyn Hospice at Forge Park in Clydach. In the August this was. Kevin Johns was co-parent, so I went with Kev to the gig. I was playing and singing the piano in that. And also appearing there in the audience was Mena Trussler, who was there to support Nia Trussler-Jones, who was part of the cast. It was a fantastic night. It was a really lovely night. Beautiful, beautiful performances from people. And afterwards in the bar, Mena again said to me, "Lynn, we've got to work together. I love what you do. You've got to do something for us to work together." I always remember she held my face in her hands and said, "Lynn, write something. You're a writer. Write something." I said, "Okay." So by this time my adrenaline was absolutely pumping. I never forget the car journey home. Kevin Johns threatened to put me out of the car twice if I didn't calm down. I was like Tigger. And my adrenaline, all ideas were pumping around my head. I got home. I didn't go to bed that night. I stayed up all night. And I remember pacing up and down and thinking, okay, all right, what do we have in common? We're both from Swansea. We're both Swansea Girls. Ooh, good name for a show. What a great name for a show. Swansea Girls. Love it. Okay, who are going to be my Swansea Girls? Was going to be Mena. I'd seen Sophie that night again. She was astonishing. I thought we've got to have Sophie in it. And Nia. There's 4 of us. Okay, that's doable. That's small. We can handle that. Small little theatre somewhere. Let's do something. By 7 o'clock the following morning, I had the synopsis and I'd written 5 songs for the show. I carried on working through the Sunday. By 7 o'clock Sunday night, I'd written 3 more songs. And I remember phoning Yvonne Brown, Sophie's mother, with a mobile phone on the piano, shouting, Yvonne, listen to this." And she said, what? "This is Sophie's song." She said, "What?" I said, "Listen." And I sang He Doesn't Understand. I came off I picked the phone up and Yvonne was sobbing. I said, "Do you like it?" "Oh my God." She said, "That's amazing." "What do you mean a Sophie's song?" I said, "No, I've written a musical. It's called Swan. Come around tomorrow night and I'll tell you all about it." And the following Monday, Mena and Nia came round and the script was complete. And we read it, and at the end of it, Mena said, "Oh my God, I don't know what I was expecting, but it sure as hell wasn't this. This isn't what I was expecting. This is astonishing. This is brilliant. You just sang about our lives. It's just unbelievable. It's like as if you've written about all of us. We're going to do this." And that was it. Swansea Girls was born.
Were you surprised at the success of Swansea Girls initially?
Very, very much so. I was really shocked, to be honest. I remember sitting there on the stage in the blackout just before the curtains opened and thinking, oh, the curtains are going to open. We've done all this rehearsal. All these women have worked so hard. The band have all worked so hard. And it's going to be my mother and my auntie in the audience. I really, they told me they'd sold out, but I didn't believe them. I couldn't get my head around the fact that with a couple of weeks to go, we'd sold every ticket. And I really honestly thought the curtains would open and I'd see my mother and my auntie and that would be it. But of course the curtains opened and I just saw all these people up as far as the gods. Absolutely packed the theatre was. And then I remember panicking, thinking, oh my goodness, they're going to hate it. Oh my goodness. And then Mena started speaking. And she got a laugh on a line I wasn't expecting to get a laugh. but it was just the way she delivered the line. And I remember this warm feeling just going over me thinking, oh, thank God, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And of course we had a standing ovation that night, and I remember it was such a shock, and Mena talks about this, and if you look at the DVD in the first run, you can see what happens. We turn around, and then we turn back, and everybody's on their feet. And you could actually see Mena and I go, oh, because we weren't expecting it, you know. It was fantastic. And then the response to the website after it was just massive, absolutely massive. We had people emailing us from all over the place who'd been on holiday in Swansea at the time, or visiting people, and have accidentally seen the show, asking us, please can you bring it to Northampton, please can you bring it to Liverpool, why don't you play it in Leicestershire, why I'm back in Scotland, are you going to bring it to Scotland, it needs to come up here. My friends would absolutely get it, because we were worried that maybe unless you were from Swansea you wouldn't get the show. But I really tried when I was writing it to write it in a way that it could have been called Cardiff Women, it could have been called Glasgow Women, it could have been called New York Women. These were stereotypical women that everybody will recognise. It's their mother, their sister, their wife, their cousin, you know. So these women are global. It's not, although it's set in Swansea, and a lot of the anecdotal stuff is Swansea based, that's easily changed. Every city's got a market. It hasn't got to be Swansea market. It could be Glasgow market, it could be Newcastle market. But the issues the women are dealing with, all women have to deal with. Everywhere, it doesn't matter where they are, or how old they are now, either. So I was hoping that people would grasp that, and that people would understand it, and that men would enjoy it too. I didn't want it to be a musical just for women. I wanted men to enjoy it, and that was really nice. A lot of men emailed me after and said, God, we really enjoyed that show. Really, really good. A lot of people bought the CD. A lot of people downloaded the tracks from the website. They loved the music as well, and it was really great. They were singing along to them. And people are still emailing me now, 2 years later, saying when to coming back, when to coming back. We've been asked to take it to America. We've been asked to take it to Canada. But, you know, so far we haven't done that. But, you know, never say never. We never know.
And now we can look forward to Swansea Women.
Yes, so Swansea Women, that opens at the Grand Theatre on Wednesday the 22nd of September, runs to the Saturday, it was a Saturday matinee. Tickets are available in advance from the box office of the Grand, which is 01792 475 715. Swansea Women is the story of Dolores. Dolores, played by Mena Truffler in the original Swansea Girls, lets us know through her life that at 14 years of age she ran away from Swansea. We don't know why. We find out that she ended up as a dancer in a theatre. We find out that she had a baby, that she left the baby with the baby's father and came back to Swansea. And that's all we know about Dolores. We don't know what else happened to her. So in Swansea Women is based during the Second World War, and we meet Dolores aged 14. Dolores is part of a large family, as they were in the Sandfields at that time. She's one of 7 children. But the story of Swansea Women actually is based on Lizzie. Lizzie is Dolores' sister. Lizzie's played by Sophie May Morgan, who used to be called Sophie Brown, who was in Swansea Girls. There's a nice little link there. And also Mia Trussler-Jones, also from Swansea Girls, plays her mother in the show, which is really nice. And also, it deals with a time in Swansea's history that was a massive thing. It's the war. Swansea was blitzed. Everybody knows that. So we've had to do an awful lot of research to get everything right. I've written 25 new songs for the show, all brand new songs, but most of them I've tried to write them in the vein of the 1940s, in the style of the 1940s. The arrangements I've done are like 1940s arrangements, with the exception of one song in particular called Crazy World, which has a more modern feel to it. But I wanted that because we're still at war. We have boys dying now, today, in various places all around the world. They're fighting now. There's a war going on in so many countries at the moment. So I felt it was quite appropriate to put in a more modern sounding song, because the words to Crazy World apply now as much as they did then. And although the GIs and the squaddies are singing Crazy World, it could equally be boys in Afghanistan singing it now. So that's the only one that I've got a screaming electric guitar in. The rest are very 1940s, but very catchy. Some of them are very funny. Some of them are very sad. Some parts of the show will make you cry. It's set during the war. It's bound to. But parts of it are happy. Parts of it are fun. And I hope the end is very uplifting. And will lead really nicely into what happens next in these people's lives. Which will bring us back to Swansea Jacks, I hope.